Now, Windsor Castle is where the Queen spent the last 2 years of her life. She spent the war years there as a child. France 24's Bénédicte Paviot is at Windsor Castle. She joins us now live from there. Bénédicte, thousands of people have already turned out there along the Long Walk, as it's called, where the Queen's coffin will pass by later today. What's the feeling like there?
Well, despite the slightly cold weather and the overcast, quite cloudy skies, it's extraordinary. People have come out since about 4 or 5 a.m. and the crowds just get bigger and bigger and bigger. They've come with an army of chairs, books, food, blankets, picnic blankets. It's extraordinary, and the atmosphere is fantastic. And the long walk, that is about 3 kilometers, 3 or 4 kilometers, leads up to the castle, and as police and military go up it every now and then, there are applause for the police. And I was speaking to one police officer who said he'd never been applauded in his life, and it's just a really lovely feeling. All ages, from all over the United Kingdom, and this is ours because we don't expect the hearse till about 3 p.m. local time.
Absolutely, Bénédicte. And as you're speaking, we have still been seeing the pictures of distinguished guests and dignitaries, heads of state, coming in to Westminster Abbey. But as you said, it will all end in a smaller committal service, smaller, 800 people as opposed to 2,000 now in Westminster Abbey. But still, talk us through what that service will be like, and then what will happen this evening.
Yes, so what will happen is that the hearse is expected to arrive here for a walking procession up Windsor Castle's Long Walk, so up that avenue, and we gather that it will be lined with members of the armed forces. The King, King Charles III, and senior members of the royal family are then expected to join the cortege in the quadrangle in Windsor, and a little later. So then we will have that funeral procession at Windsor Castle. The coffin will head through the castle to St. George's Chapel. The castle's Sebastopol and curfew tower bells will be tolled every single minute, and gun salutes will be fired from the castle's grounds. Then the coffin with the late Queen's body will enter St. George's Chapel for a committal service. St. George's Chapel was the church that regularly chosen by the royal family for weddings, christenings, funerals. It's in fact where the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan, were married, and where the Queen's late husband, of course, you'll remember here on France 24, we reported on Prince Philip's funeral. It is where that was held. So this will be attended by a much smaller, more personal congregation of about 800 guests, as opposed to the 2,000 in Westminster Abbey in London. The committal service will be conducted by Dean of Windsor, David Connor, and there'll be a blessing from Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. And the service here will include traditions symbolizing the end of the Queen's reign. So the imperial state crown and the sovereign's orb and scepter will be removed from the top of the coffin by the crown jeweler, separating the Queen from her crown for the final time. So a very historic and solemn moment. At the end of the last hymn, King Charles will then place the Queen's company camp colour, or flag, of the Grenadier Guards on the coffin. The Grenadier Guards are the most senior of the foot guards carrying out ceremonial duties for the monarch. And at the same time, the Lord Chamberlain, former MI5 Chief Baron Parker, he'll actually break his wand of office and place it symbolically on the coffin. So the snapping of that white staff will signal the end of his service to the sovereign as her most senior official in the royal household. And then the final adieu, the Queen will then be lowered into the royal vault, and the sovereign's piper will play before a blessing and the singing of God Save the King. The performance by the piper at Windsor was something the Queen had personally requested, says Buckingham Palace. So very solemn final moments where her family, because this is also, let's remember, a personal goodbye and an adieu and it's for the UK, the Commonwealth and the wider world. And we know that billions of people are watching avidly London and Windsor right now.
Paint a very vivid image of what will be taking place